are about to witness bodily dismemberment, sub-zero temperatures, and all-out mayhem. Brought to you by the Frontline Network.
Sup, COH fans, and welcome to episode 8 of Frontline Fatalities Season 3, brought to you by the Frontline Network, presented by me, FatalSaint, and my good friend Tommy. What's up, Tommy?
What's up, Fatal? We are here after, well, the last cast we did was back on Wi-Fi's tournament, for those of you that caught that on our Twitch channel. But here we are today, back with our first non-live cast in a little while, and we are here on the fields of not Langrasky. What am I talking about? It's Kolodny Firma.
Kolodny Firma, summer version or spring version, however you want to twist it. No snow, good old spring map, and we had Symbiosis playing as the Germans today versus who, Tommy?
He is going to be taking on Mr. PwnageMachine.
Mr. PwnageMachine.
Very intimidating.
Very serious. He will machine the Pwnage out of Symbiosis. We'll see if he can wrangle a win out of this matchup on Kolodny. You ready to go, Tommy?
I am ready.
At the 5-second mark, I'm pausing. 3, 2, 1, unpause. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So, yeah, that Wi-Fi tournament we had live casted. What was that? I can't even remember already.
2 weekends ago.
Two weekends ago. Yeah, 2 weekends ago.
So we had some fun games there actually. There was that one game that everyone was talking about for a little while, where we saw these huge tank battles, T-3485s from Siberian versus
Increases P4 army, like 3 of them, I think.
Yeah, it was nuts.
That was pretty cool, actually. I like that
P4's
battle.
won.
Yeah, but it was very close. It could have gone either way, I bet.
It could
It was
easily gone either way. It basically came down to that one battle, because everything else had been like immobilized.
destroyed
main
guns and
so
exploded, yeah.
it was just that one battle between wounded T-34 and wounded P4.
It's just like one deflection away from the T-3485's winning. After that, he could have mopped up the other
crazy.
two, you know, maybe...
And like one of them
I don't
missed
know.
at point-blank range and stuff, and it's just like, god damn.
It's horrible when that happened. RNG at its finest, I guess. There's not much more else to say about it, because it could have really gone either way.
Yeah, easily. You could workshop that same scenario 100 times and get 100 different outcomes. So
Yeah, pretty much. But today, with Symbiosis versus, let's just call him Machine, I guess. We're gonna see if the Germans are still, because during that tournament a lot of people, when we did a TFN World Championships, everybody went, Soviets so powerful. I can't beat Soviets. How do you beat Soviets? They can do so many things and it's impossible to beat them. And now all of a sudden it's basically the other way around. How can I counter Germans? What am I supposed to do? Grenadiers kill me.
The balance is a little bit better than it was back when we did our World Championship, because back then it really was a case of, I mean, clearly you could see it very obviously. The Germans were just having a very, very tough time of it.
Yeah.
Like, we had Aimstrong, arguably the best austere player in the game, at least at that time, and even he wasn't able to beat Cepha, but he did manage to make the game go on for some 50-something minutes. I mean, and it was a crazy feat of micro from both sides. It was a really great game.
Yeah.
A real test of the sort of the best.
Game 3 of the finals, I believe that was, because the first game he played as Germans as well, I believe, and he got thoroughly stoned because he spread out. I think he still had somewhat scouted Cepha's play, and he knew that there were gonna be M3s, but he still spread out his units, got picked off one by one, and just got demolished, and that's over. It's just game over after that. But in game 3, he stopped doing that massive tier 1 to try and do something against the M3s, and as you said, that thing was almost an hour long.
Yeah, I mean, that game equally could have gone either way, but as it was that final series actually didn't have a single German victory in it. Whereas now we are seeing not quite equal parts German and Soviet victories, but certainly a bit more in terms of a bit more equality.
Yeah, way more German victories nowadays than Soviet victories as compared to the earlier stages of the retail release. Loads of conscripts out for Machine. Has he gone 4 of them or 3? I see
He's
one.
gone so far for 3, and he's building a 4th.
Okay, building a 4th, so nothing super special.
He
Some
did get
players go
Molotovs.
for 4. Oh, so he got
he's already
Molotovs
got
in between.
Yeah, he went 3 and then Molotovs,
Yeah.
and then he's following up with a 4th.
Okay. And Symbiosis has 2 Grand 2 MG. It's kind of like the early stages of retail and some of the beta versions of Company of Heroes 2 when everybody went 2 Grand 2 MG tech. That kind of has come back again. I'm not exactly sure why, because maybe because the M3s were changed. Nerfed, some people would say. Some people would say changed. I don't know which one is actually the correct one to state, but either way, it's different now. So they've gone back to 2 Grands 2 MGs because you no longer have to fight off that never-ending horde of M3s barbecuing everything on the field. Especially your very vulnerable MGs, because you can't paint a vehicle.
Well, I think part of the reason is due to a couple of patches ago, the MG42 got a 4th crew member added. So now MG42s, you know, they pack a really fearsome punch. They have a good range, a good spread, and now they've got 4 men, which means that against the early Soviet sniper, they're not quite so vulnerable as they were before.
No, exactly. But we still see, sniper play is still very valid, as we saw in that Wi-Fi tournament, for example. There was quite a lot of Soviet snipers in most of the Soviet games. But at the same time, quite a lot of MGs as well, because they are very, very powerful. And that 4th man, especially when you're sticking them in a building, meaning that the sniper won't get a kill every shot, 4 men just makes you last so much longer inside a building.
We do have our first couple of Molotovs are thrown there, one into the middle building in the center, force an MG to pack up and retreat.
Yeah, we had one thrown at the building at the munitions point in the north as well. Soviet player doing fairly good, I must say. Very aggressive play. He's staying away, trying to evade the grenadiers here on the far left-hand side, close to the German base. He is forced to retreat due to a rifle nade, and there's an LMG-42 upgrade on that grenadier as well. So he is forced to retreat. Very low health, but he's actually going to make it back home to base to reinforce and save that squad, because it's extremely low health. There's a few pixels of health left on 3 men. A few bullets is enough to actually annihilate that squad. But yeah, he managed to get away. At the same time, nice cut-off move from Symbiosis. So at least he's giving back as much as he's receiving right now. He's losing territories up in the north. He's retained his fuel, which I guess is the very, very important part right now for Symbiosis, to be able to keep teching. But he's actually added on a 5th unit for tier 1. A sniper! A German sniper, Tommy!
A German sniper? Well, that's something that we don't see.
Only Symbiosis, I say. Only Symbiosis and someone else equally mad would go for an Axis sniper. And
We just
I don't
never
know.
really see them.
No, never. Never.
I can only imagine that he chose to go for that because he saw that there were 4 conscripts instead of the usual 3.
Maybe.
Add on Molotovs on top of that, and it's actually quite a big tier 1 from the Soviet player.
Yeah, fairly large. I see he's actually built tier 2 in his base, so there's something different already. No M3s, no snipers, no penal battalions for the Soviet player, unless he backtechs, obviously. But at the same time, yeah.
when he starts getting chewed up by a German sniper.
Yeah, a Soviet sniper is generally the easiest way to get the German sniper off the field. Just going for the Soviet sniper, even if you miss the first shot, so to speak, you can snipe him with the remaining crew member. As long as it's the scout on the Soviet sniper team that gets sniped first. Very early veterancy on those LMG grants. Those things deal so much damage. You get so much XP for your squads.
Yeah, you don't want to be giving away XP to those kind of guys. They'll really make you pay for it.
So he's gone tier 2, tier 3?
Tier 2, tier 3, yeah.
I remember something from the Wi-Fi tournament in the finals against Barton. This was what Siberian did, I think. I think he went 4 conscripts in that game. Tier 2, basically built nothing. T70. That was it.
Yeah, very well. It wasn't even a particularly quick T70. It was just the way that he used it when he got it out, and then he got several of them, didn't he?
Yeah.
Because he got, I think it came out
2,
about
3
the
of them.
10-minute mark.
somewhere.
So it wasn't like a super shock or anything. Barton did still have AT. He just didn't have enough AT to deal with, 3 or some T-70s at the same time.
Yeah, and it also basically forced Spartan to stick in tier 2. He had the fuel, but he didn't really have the manpower required to put up, you know, basically tech to tier 3, put the building up, and then start producing a vehicle of his own, like a P4, for example, to counter the T-70s, because he was basically in a manpower sinkhole all of a sudden due to the T-70s dealing so much damage to all of his tier 1 and tier 2 units, especially like, you know, P-Grens being 45 manpower a piece, T-70 snipes one guy every shot. You know, after just a few shots, you're down over, you know, one casualty is 45, 2 is 90. It's just like, all of a sudden you have no manpower.
Yeah, it's it does add up very quickly.
Seems to me that
mortar. Is that the big mortar? Or is that
nope.
No, that's the regular mortar.
No, tier 2 mortar. I guess he doesn't have enough fuel for anything from tier 3. Is that the?
He's on 55 fuel right now.
So he could be, T-70.
Yeah, and he is getting some T-70 right now.
So he was fuel starved. So I guess he was floating manpower after getting the 4 initial conscripts with the Molotov upgrade and nothing else to spend it on. Do we have a doctrine choice? Nothing for Symbiosis so far, but usually, you know, the Soviet player.
Conscript support.
Okay.
He's got himself hit the dirt and some PPSHs.
Okie dokie. So generally, you would see Soviet players go for that elite unit. Generally, guards. There's a few players that play with shock troops, but not that many.
Well, he doesn't have access to guards.
Oh.
He's just got.
He's got that.
He's just got, hit the dirt and conscript repair.
Ah, okay. So the other commander actually, not the generic one, which we saw a lot in the TFN Championship with the hit the dirt, guards, PPSHs.
Yeah, that's a very popular one.
The howitzer one, yeah. But it looks like Symbiosis has stabilized quite heavily, actually. He's reclaimed basically all of the north, and he's guarding the top VP with an MG and forces off one conscript squad. But the T-70 is out on the field for PwnageMachine right now, and this MG is in for a nasty surprise. An instant retreat for Symbiosis. There's just no way. Goodbye.
These have been known to snipe whole squads while on retreat, so...
Oh, easily.
The faster you retreat, the better.
It's kind of like the beta implementation of the Flammenwerfer, killing everything on retreat.
Yeah.
You can just chase it forever. Nowadays, it's you know, due to their burst being nerfed, etc., and the amounts of shots they actually fire, so to speak. It's not that way anymore.
Oh, he ran right into a pack. Symbiosis was nicely waiting for him.
Very nice defense from Symbiosis. Instant P-Gren Panzer Shreks upgraded as well. So he's got a pack, a half-track, and a P-Gren squad out of his tier 2 building so far. With 2 MGs on the field, you know, LMG upgrade on the Grenadiers, and he has that sniper, that German sniper. I guess he doesn't really need more anti-infantry.
A huge mine just went off killing some 3 Grenadiers there and doing quite a lot of damage down in the south.
I've got 2. You actually gain veterancy for taking damage. You still get, I think, 25%.
Yeah, you do still get a little
75 for dealing damage, I believe. Is he gonna try to stop the fuel cap, getting close enough for a Molotov? I'm not exactly sure. You know, sure, those Grenadiers are low health and 3 men. And he gets a PPSH upgrade on his conscripts as well, fighting over this fuel point down in the south. But I'm not exactly sure, because that Gren squad is actually going to retreat.
Symbiosis, his cautious nature wins out over his desire to stay in that engagement.
He might have heard the mortar shooting in the fog of war. Got scared of that insta-nuke crit from the mortar hitting him.
Yeah, well, they were very low health, so it's not surprising.
Well, he wants to...
Lots of PPSHs coming in now. Almost all the conscripts are now upgraded, except for 1 squad.
They're fairly cheap at 20 munitions. It's 10 apiece. You get 2 PPSHs on the conscripts, I believe, from that conscript assault package, compared to shock troops, which gets 6. So T-70 fully repaired, basically just harassing around. He's going to get a nice flank off on this tank as well.
Oh no, this could be dangerous. If he snipes a few crew members, this could be really nasty.
I think Symbiosis will attempt, if he's getting circled straight by that T-70 against the pack. I think he was attempting to block with the half-track.
Could have been. I don't know, what is T-70 doing? He's just going for a whole little circuit here on the backlines.
Scout! Maybe he's scouting for tier 3 or something. Do I need to get an AT gun now, or can I wait?
He does already have an AT gun. He's already bought one.
Oh yeah. Well, he's well out in advance already. He's not gonna let himself get out-teched by the German player, I guess. Oh, Doctrine chosen, or Commander chosen for Symbiosis. Instant retreat down in the south from these Pyos. They got nothing to defend themselves against vehicles or anything else for that matter, pretty much without a flamethrower upgrade. They don't really deal that much damage to infantry either.
Got a big push now coming up here. These two conscripts moving up from the south here. There is still one MG42 in Axis hands, sitting there in the middle, covering the two major roads into the center.
Yeah, he's got the one in the center, and he's moving the second one up into the north to reclaim that fuel, which was actually harassed by the combat engineers, upgraded with flamethrowers now, that was retreated back to base due to that MG and that Axis sniper. Vet 1 on the Axis sniper for Symbiosis right now. 14 kills. That was pretty quick. Has he actually killed 14 guys already?
The Axis sniper.
Yeah, he's got 14 kills already. That was quick.
That's impressive.
I've seen him floating around on the minimap because after that update in the, I think the retail or the later stages of the open beta, when they upgraded the icons on the minimap, you know, you get the sniper scope, the crosshairs, and on MGs you get the little cone and the mortar icons as well. I've seen him trolling around on the minimap, but I wasn't expecting him to have dealt that much damage already.
It's very impressive that he's been able to keep it alive this long, because normally German snipers, at least the ones that we've seen, tend to have about the same lifespan as a fruit fly.
Yeah, fairly. Pretty much.
Oh, P-Grains here into the middle. 2 Panzer Strikes and 2 MP44s are ripping things up.
Very nice. Here comes 2 conscript squads of PPSHs out from the Soviet base, going to force off these Panzer Grenadiers with the Shrek upgrade.
He's got 5 conscripts now, you know? He's built another one.
Wow, 5.
He's really going to town. I mean,
pretty heavy.
The thing is, this doctrine really does reward having lots of conscripts. You don't need engineers because conscripts can repair.
True.
He's even got that rapid conscription ability, so he can replace his combat losses.
Oh yeah, he can get like even more conscript squads if he wants to.
Yeah. Although he'd have to lose 2 conscripts worth of conscripts to get 2 conscript squads. Yeah. So it would really just be recycling what you already have.
Oh, we have a Molotov, but I think he kind of Molotovs himself more than the Grens. They are forced to retreat to the hedges there in the bottom munitions point. The PPSH upgraded conscripts got into close quarters fairly easy without taking any damage on the approach. So, well played from Machine right there. Pack opening up on that T-70 trying to force off the MG. Yeah, but he misfires.
That wreck right in front of him. Well done, Pack.
Well done, Pack. Here we go.
Quite a lack of use of hit the dirt. I wonder whether he's just cautious about a sudden rifle nade.
Maybe, might be, yeah. Well, he was rifle naded in the initial stages of the game by a Grenadier squad instantly, so maybe he knows that, you know, Symbiosis knows where the rifle grenade button is. I better not hit the dirt. Here's the P4 now out from Symbiosis. This is gonna throw a wrench in the workings for the Soviet player, but I saw he actually built Tier 4 and he's building something out of it. Or he didn't finish it? Is that it? It's not finished!
Oh,
it's not 1%. Finished!
It's just like, it's barely...
Horrible! That's horrible.
That's really, really unfortunate, and his engineer is in the field laying mines, so...
Well, laying mines all good, but you gotta finish that building, engineers, because you need something against this P4. I guess the Soviet player still has his AT gun. Did it manage to actually backtrack that? Yeah, it's back in the base with 3 men.
Back in the base.
So he's got something. He's got a little bit to defend himself, but that P4 is highly mobile. And the T-70 might be actually taken out here. The AT gun relocates to face the correct direction, gets 1 nice shot on the P4. Without veterancy, they take a lot of damage from AT guns. Nice use of Panzer Tactician for Symbiosis to get out of that. I believe that Machine just used attack ground on that AT gun because it still fired through that smoke.
Ah, very clever.
Yeah, you can do that with Su-85s, for example, very long range as well, or AT guns, even if your opponent uses smoke. Or I've seen streamer like Steven, for example, use mortar smoke on his Russian mortars, and then using his Su-85s to combat things like elephants, for example. Because if the player wielding the elephant doesn't know about how to use attack round through smoke, or your Su-85s can still win, or your AT guns, for example.
Yeah, it's a neat little trick.
Especially with the elephant having a hitbox as large as a building.
Yes, well, it's gotta be the biggest tank in the game, really.
I think so.
It's a real.
It's bigger than the Tiger. It's gotta be.
Yeah.
Tiger is pretty big though. Maybe the ISC 152, that's pretty big too. I'm not sure. No, I think the Elephant is bigger.
I think the Elephant's the biggest tank in the game. It's at least size-wise, it's huge.
Model-wise, so to speak. So it seems that Symbiosis has basically gone for the Soviet cutoff, and he's reclaiming all of those sectors down there back into the German hands. But he's lost the north instead, so they're basically just trading territories right now.
Yeah, the game's still very even, and yeah, no way to call it yet. I mean, we are at the coming up to the 20-minute mark, but it's been a very close game until this point.
Double mine on the Pios, trying to go up north, just outside of the Soviet base at that cutoff point. He hit double Soviet mines, almost killed the entire squad, down to one man, and that's Axe's sniper in the building now with 17 kills. Still alive. Only that, with T-70s on the field and stuff, and still retaining, you know, the life of your sniper as an Axis player, that's not easy.
Just saw a flamer go down there from the Soviet player on retreat. Cut down by about 2 Gren. So those LMG Grens, can't give them efficiency. Otherwise they become a real pain in the ass.
Wow, point blank MG sets up, but is forced to retreat. Wow, Molotov thrown, PPSH has opened up on him. He might lose this on retreat actually, he's very low health. He's going to pursue up north, and he kills that MG, and with 6 men on that conscript squad, he can easily steal it and maybe retreat out of the way before this P4, double P4s now from Symbiosis out on the field, kills him. He needs to get away faster.
These guys aren't going to take any prisoners.
That Soviet mine has been laying there forever at that fuel. He
might
might.
Hit it.
Oh, here we go.
He's gonna hit it. There we go. Damage engine.
Not exactly sure if this MG is still gonna make it though. He has to retreat past this second P4 that can still pursue it quite easily with the engine intact. Oh, he might get out. Might get around this building. P4 is not gonna let up, however. But here comes the Su-85 out now from the Soviet player machine. He's going to try to set up, but there's quite a lot of shock blockers around on this map. So
I like how it's just hiding behind the building in ambush.
I wonder, he can see it now. I don't think he could actually see it before.
No, I don't think so. There's a house in the way.
This is a risky move though. That P4 can go in for the circle strafe. However, it's very close to the Soviet base, so Symbiosis actually cleverly walks away. I swear he just used attack round. Now that confirms it. Yeah. Because that was basically right after the smoke was deployed. And smoke basically works like a shot blocker, so your tank shouldn't be shooting.
We've got a bit of a flank here. 2 Grens with LMGs.
I think they bit off a bit more than they could chew.
Yeah.
A bit too much.
Oh, that was a nice double hit.
Yeah, T-70s. The Grenadiers were clumped up in that crater, the yellow covered crater, and goodbye, Grens.
Well, that sniper's getting chased. Oh, he managed to dodge every bullet that T-70 threw at him, but
how is that sniper still alive? I'm amazed.
By a feat of
by a feat of symbiosis. Here we go, Su-85 finds that damaged P4 that was actually fully repaired after hitting the mine, so he thought that he might have had a nice easy target to kill after getting a destroyed engine from the Soviet mine going off, but it was actually repaired in time and he's going to be able to go away now. But yeah, he's using the full extent of his commander choice, repairing that Su-85 now with his conscripts. Down here in the south, I believe that German half-track, was it 18-aided? Must have been 18-aid.
Yes, I believe so.
But where is the AT follow-up? There's a pack and that double Shrek Pigren squad. Very damaged, however. I think maybe an AT gun and 1 conscript squad would be enough to take it out. Mortar now raining down on that pack position as well, but Symbiosis is already moving away from that position. Oh no, little T-70 that...
It went to the wrong place that day. Amazing, it survived.
Yeah, 2 nice shots. Oh no! Oh, the P4 is not actually gonna pursue. That was lucky for that T-70, otherwise it would have been killed quite easily. Slightly reduced damage taken.
Actually, you would have taken on an Su-85 and an AT gun pointing right at him.
Well, he only needed 1 more shot to get the kill crit on it because it's such low health. He could have critted the main gun, of course, but you know, 1 shot, he could have taken 1 Su-85, 1 AT gun shot and then smoke out. Probably.
Yeah, I guess.
Because those T-70s become extremely annoying the longer the game goes on, the more they annoy you. It's kind of like Sniper Rage.
They can do a lot of damage without taking. It's
yeah, self-repair. Fairly easy to repair as their HP pool is fairly low, so it repairs quite quickly. So Soviet player now moving down south with that stolen MG42, I believe it is. Yep, and a Max.
Yep, he does have one of each. He's got a mortar. He's got now 2 AT guns, an SU-85 and a T-70. Doesn't have a whole lot of fuel to get any more tanks, but he is sitting on quite a bit of munitions and quite a bit of manpower.
I think munitions is something that's... I think Soviets... Obviously there's always mines. The Soviet mine is really good, I have to say. It reminds me of the VCO mines, just a bit beefier, I guess. You know, compared to the German S-mine field, which is just like... takes too long to plant, 80 munitions, no,
yeah.
Not gonna do it, not gonna do it. Teller mine's good though, it's just a teller mine. It's nothing special with that. They're really good against vehicles, do tremendous amounts of damage to vehicles. But obviously it doesn't work on infantry. But the Soviet mine is, you know, it's close to the VCO mines. But the main thing is, I think Soviets need something else. You can throw Molotovs, you can throw AT nades, but at some point you start floating a lot of munitions because there's not really that many heavy weapon upgrades. You know, after getting the PPSHs, if you choose a doctrine that actually has PPSHs, there's not that much else to use.
He does have one off-map, which is his incendiary off-map, and he does have his rapid constriction ability. But both of those are rather situational, not just things that you can sort of flaunt your munitions on.
The incendiary barrage is pretty good against the stationary targets like PACs and MGs because the spread, the area of effect is very large. So I find them very, very good. It's actually one of the best Soviet off-maps, I have to say. But it's very situational. You can use it on packs, for example, etc. But everything else is just going to move out of the way. Unless they're not paying attention, of course. There we go, 2 P4s up north, combined with this German sniper now, laying on the hurt against this Soviet AT gun. It sets up, it might get a shot off, because before it gets decrewed by the second P4 that rolls in.
Knockout.
Whoa! And there's the gun.
The gun itself.
Finally rewarded for my skills.
Vet 2 German sniper.
Looking at that, 25 kills.
Increases weapon rate of fire. I actually had no idea that the German snipers had any form of veterancy whatsoever.
Did you see that rifle there?
Yeah, I saw it. At the same time, T-70 wreaking havoc in the center. This German half-track is in trouble, but here comes double P-Grants with double Panzerschreck each. Takes it out. I believe that half-track, however, was taken out as well. It's slowly crashing into the building.
There we go.
It's still, just like in VCO, it's still extremely hilarious to watch those extremely slow, out of control explosions. I can't remember, we did a game on Longer, I believe, for Frontline Fatalities, where something was out of control for a good minute and a half. Was that like a Birch Tiger? I'm pretty sure it was a Birch Tiger.
Oh, it could well have been, That does vaguely ring a bell.
That was, I don't know, for a better word, retarded.
If he had a destroyed engine, and then you go out of control. It's just the best. The best thing is when you got a Top Gunner as well. So the Top Gunner just keeps on firing and you can't do anything about it.
Vet 2 Conscript Squad down to these 2 P4s out from Symbiosis. Good kill, killing the veterans. At the same time, I believe the Pio Squad went down for Symbiosis, but I think he'd happily take that trade any day. Killing the Vet 2 Conscripts especially. There we go, 18-8 on that P4, nice damage engine. I believe he was thrown on the rear armor, so as in one of the later patches, the penetration values of Fausts and 18-8s were changed.
They were, they can now bounce.
Yeah. I pretty much approve of that change. Maybe not the way they did it, but they needed to do something about the silly, you know, they're chasing my massive tank with the tier 0 infantry squad or a tier 1 grenadier and it has to run away.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I never did. There we go, the second P4 rolls in, but I'm not exactly sure if Symbiosis was aware that there were actually two Su-85s, not
Yeah,
one.
P4 has already gone down, the second one goes down. It's a big loss here for Symbiosis right now. Two P4s going down in just a minute there.
That's not something, you know, as we talked about in the Expert Insights episode with Symbiosis in episode 7 against Helping Hands, he talked about those things, you know, Helping Hands probably lost the game when he suicided or he attacked the Soviet base. I think he kind of did the same thing now because Symbiosis, he couldn't have been aware that there were a second Su-85. He thought he was going to get in on the flank against the one Su-85 and easily take it out with his vetted, you know, Blitzkrieg P4. So that was obviously an oversight from Symbiosis right there, and that can turn the tide of the entire game.
Yeah, it could well do. Could well do.
He stole himself a Soviet Titanium.
Yeah, stolen 76 mil.
I think he needs it. Oh, wow. We have the second biggest tank on the field. Maybe at least the second biggest German tank on the field in the form of a Tiger tank from Symbiosis right now.
Ooh, maybe losing the P4s is very tactical. He just wanted to free up a bit of pop.
Well, he's very close to pop, 91 right now. His unit bar is fairly massive, actually, with 2 P-Grens. He only has 1 remaining Grenadier. He's lost one somewhere. I think I actually missed that engagement. He's got 2 Pyos, and that German sniper now with 30 kills. 1 MG, a pack, and a stolen AT gun as well. He rebuilt his half-track too.
Quite a big set of units. He's got a load of conscripts. He's got 5 conscripts now, 3 of which are Vet 2, 2 MGs, 1 mortar, and 2 Su-85s.
Nice, very nice. He's got to be fairly close to pop cap as well, I guess.
72.
72? Yeah, 76 was my guess. I guess I miscounted in my head somewhere.
Pretty close. Oh, this Tiger's just rolling over everything.
Yeah, he doesn't really care about hedges and stuff. It's
Evidently
just gardening time right now. He's gonna run over everything. P4 carcass, yeah, no problem. T70 maybe? No, no problem. Just roll over everything. I'm not exactly sure what he's going for. I don't think he knows himself. He's going up north again to reclaim that VP, to continue the drain of the Soviet player. Now down to 260 VPs, but compared to Symbiosis 370, it isn't miles away. It's still anybody's game.
Here we go. Tigers in range. First shot, although misses entirely on the conscript squad. Indeed, so does the second.
Where are the
MG42
Su-85s?
is here.
Yep,
One
MG42.
burst, suppressed.
Solves everything. So, Su-85s, both fully repaired after taking quite a bit of damage after that engagement with the double P4s. He's moving up north, but there are those P-Grens to combat. He needs infantry support, and right now most of his infantry is back at base reinforcing. He's got some outside of his base and down south reclaiming that cutoff that was stolen from Symbiosis. Nice Maxim in that building, actually covering his fuel point. He needs that fuel income, I believe. There we go. P-Grens were forced back to base due to the stolen MG42, I believe. Was that it?
Yes.
Okay.
We are losing a sector.
This German sniper, though, he is not afraid of anything anymore for some reason.
Communist bastard.
Instant retreat. Let's see if the Su-85 gets super lucky with an infantry sniper retreat. He's not going to take the shot at all. He's going to go hunting this Flammenwerfer that got AT-nated down at the south fuel point and the VP, the south munitions point, I believe.
Yeah, this is a more pressing concern. It roasted a conscript squad.
An entire squad?
Not in the entire squad,
okay.
but several members.
Okay. Yeah, he's got a Vet 3 conscript squad now, so veterancy for both players are rolling in at a steady pace. We got a Vet 2 German sniper, Vet 2 Gren, Vet 2 P-Gren, and a Vet 1 P-Gren. We do have that pack gun, I believe it is. Vet 1 and a Vet 1 MG for Symbiosis. What about the Soviet player?
Sitting now on 4 conscripts. He did lose 1 conscript at one point. 2 MGs, 2 mortars, 2 Su-85s, and now a Katusha.
Oh, a Katusha added to the mix. That's not a bad idea, I think, against these stationary packs, for example.
Could be interesting. We've seen games won with Katushas.
Yeah. This U85 driver is drunk. He's just driving over everything on the battlefield for some reason. Here we go. It's gonna be another AT nade on that Flammenwerfer for a nice amount of damage. Gets vet 1, but here comes the SU-85 dealing a tremendous amount of damage in one shot. However, on the flank up north at the munitions point, oh, here comes the Tiger and the double Shrek'd up Pigrans as well. I think he's waiting for maybe the cooldown on the AT nade on that conscript squad.
Nice flank from these Shrek'd up Pigrans. When they open up, boom, big hits.
Oh, he might lose a conscript squad. He does. No, one guy. He loses that conscript squad. Conscript squad down. That's 2. There we go. SU-85 taken out by that Tiger. Only took a minimal amount of damage as well. Katusha opened up on it. Didn't really do that much damage. Oh, off map.
Force the Pigrans to retreat though.
What off map?
Oh,
It is
nice.
Incendiary.
Incendiary off map. This could be really nasty as they're repairing.
We took a load of damage there, but he actually manages to get that very low health one-man Pyre squad out of that flaming area before getting roasted to death. So I don't think he actually saw the smoke until it was basically too late. It comes down fairly quickly.
It does. It does. Sometimes not too easy to see either.
It's tricky, especially if you're doing multiple things at the same time. It can be easy to miss that red smoke, and as that off-map comes down so quickly, it can be extremely devastating. I believe, what is that, a mortar half-track? Yeah, mortar half-track just nailed a conscript squad vet 3 at the cutoff, but at the same time he damaged his own grens as well. Did a bit of friendly fire.
On blue, never hurt anybody.
Blue on blue. So SU shielding up in the north, Soviet player is trying to reclaim most of the territories up here to actually ensure he gets some form of an income, as Symbiosis has been pretty good during the entirety of the game to go for that cutoff. That cutoff on Kolodny, it's pretty brutal.
It's definitely been his strategy in mind, isn't it, to go after that cutoff and keep on harassing that fuel.
We have an off map. Is this in the base? I see a plane. The Katusha is moving out of the way. He takes a rocket to the face.
Wow.
The health is so low, but he actually manages to survive.
That thing is just a tickle away from death. That was a nice idea by Symbiosis. Shame it didn't quite pay off for him, but
He used reconnaissance to get some line of sight in the base and thought, you know, my biggest threat right now is going to be this Katusha, because it's kind of like a sniper, I guess you could call it. It deals a lot of damage, but it actually doesn't take any damage. It doesn't really cost you anything more than the initial cost of the thing itself. Until you lose it to an off-map, but that didn't work. Oh, here we go, Katusha on these Pigrans. Oh, wow! Insta-crit! Blows up, dismembers one Pigran squad down for Symbiosis.
that's a big loss. But actually, take a look at the VPs now. Machine is down to almost just 100 VPs here. He's just about to dip below 100. That's going to really put the screws on.
Yeah, he can't really go in the center. There's AT gun support, and he's got that the Tiger still alive, and he's got, you know, indirect fire support in the form of a mortar half track. At the same time, himself doesn't really have that much. He can't really combat that Tiger unless he basically combines his forces, like the SU plus AT gun. He can't deal with it with just one of the two. And at the same time, obviously, he's gonna need some infantry support. He's got some indirect fire to combat the stationary weapons like the stolen AT gun and the pack and the MG, but you know, it's not easy. Not easy for the Soviet player right now. I'm not exactly sure what he needs to do here.
I'm not sure either. I'm sure a sniper of his own wouldn't go amiss when he's fighting all these Pigrans. But he could also do with a bit more AT. He seems to be relying primarily on this one Su-85 as his anti-tank, and when he's facing these mobile vehicles like Flammenwerfers and Tigers, it's a problem.
Yeah, I think the magic number for Su-85s is basically 2. You know, overlapping fire. It's always kind of been like that in the Company of Heroes franchise, especially with you know, AT guns or MGs, for example. When they become overlapping, if you have 2 of them, it becomes a whole different problem all of a sudden for your opponent.
Yeah, exactly. 1 can be circle strafed, 2 cannot.
Yeah, then all of a sudden you have to throw something other into the mix. Yeah, Yeah, what is that? I'm not exactly sure what he needs. I think he needs a second Su-85, but I guess he can't afford it fuel-wise because he's been fairly starved as he's lost his cutoff so many times. Here we go, massive battle. Now Symbiosis moving in. The AT gun is running away. I'm not exactly sure where it's going. Here comes the Flammenwerfer to support this Tiger. AT gun sets up. I'm not exactly sure if he's even going to get one shot off before he gets decrewed and then destroyed permanently by these Tiger, most likely. Not a single shot fired from that AT gun. At the same time, in the north, he did manage to force off the MG42 and the 2 Pigren squads. But I'm a bit afraid that it's going to be too little, too late with 15 VPs remaining for the Soviet player machine.
He's got to get down to the south very quickly. I mean, he is Uraring conscript there to the middle, and he may well be able to actually get the white on that in time.
11, ticking down slowly.
I think he'll make it, but it's going to be, you know, he's going to be down to about 6 VPs.
I'd like to see Symbiosis use the artillery barrage on the stolen AT gun now. On those conscripts. He's using the mortar though. Here comes the Flammenwerfer to deal some extra damage to get him away. But he did get the white stopped at 9 VPs. Problem is, obviously, is he going to be able to hold it? I don't think so. He's actually going to sacrifice that entire conscript squad, throwing an 18-8 on that Flammenwerfer. At the same time, Vet 3 now, LMG-equipped Grenadier squad just got raped by an Su-85. And then that Vet 3 conscript squad. Here we go, Katusha into the center, overshooting a little bit. He's trying to stop the cap, which is happening due to this pack being in the capping circle.
The Axis sniper went down.
No! Where?
The conscripts charged and he went down.
Ah, too bad.
He was standing there sniping away, boom, 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 but they just got a little too close. One good burst from those SMGs was enough. And it was good night for that Axis sniper. He ended with something like 40 kills.
Wow, did he really have that many kills? That's impressive. Oh, here goes the Su-85. It was powering through into the center to try and take out the Flammenwerfer, I believe, or maybe even try to snipe the pack crew. But the drain is back on with 2, and the north is now under threat from these Pigrens as well. There is a stolen, no, there's a Maxim actually, not a stolen MG42, but it's not going to actually matter at all. Soviet player drained down to 0 VPs. Pretty nice game, back and forth.
It was back and forth, and it was very well played by both sides. You know, it was nice to see a bit of a change of pace in terms of strategies used there from both sides, really. Symbiosis with his sniper, slightly bigger tier 1, maybe reactive, or maybe that's something that he's been working on.
Maybe.
Because I'm not sure how many changes have been coming for the Axis sniper of late. Not too many, I don't think.
No.
But we still don't see that many of them. So when you do see it, it's a nice novelty.
Yeah. But, you know, players like Aimstrong, Symbiosis, for example, kind of renowned for sniper usage in Company of Heroes 1. So, you know, obviously it moves over to Company of Heroes 2 as well. As we saw Aimstrong's Soviet sniper in the TFN Championship. And as we saw Symbiosis' German sniper now in this game.
Yeah, exactly. It's plenty of room for applicable skills, especially when it comes to snipers. Very well played to both players in that game there. Hopefully, in our next showcast, we'll be bringing you a game from the new map, Semwoskia, or whatever they called it.
Semwa.
Essentially. But until then, do let us know in the comments your thoughts on the game. Let us know your thoughts on the metagame, and we will see you next time.
See you guys.